you're in the market for a 22 Plinker rifle, get rid of that box, or if you're looking for an AR style rifle in a not 5.56 caliber to practice with, you may have just stumbled across the right place. My name is Brandon. Welcome to Classic Firearms. Let's go ahead and dive into this Rock Island Armory 22 LR rifle with an 18-inch barrel. So first things first, we are going to go over the tech specs. So without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about those. Now, this, of course, is chambered in 22 LR. It does have a threaded barrel up front, which is nice, and then you do actually get a carry handle that is removable. There is a full Picatinny underneath this grab handle here that you can put an optic on as well, so you do have that. Overall, this thing is 36.5 inches long. You're looking at 7.68 inches tall, and then of course you're looking at about it says on the website 3 inches wide. So not about, that's what it says. We will measure these things just to see how long they actually are, especially when you extend the stock and you decompress it back in, just to give you a more clear idea of what you're getting a little bit later. We'll also weigh it and get the trigger weight as well, so stay tuned for that. Finally, in the statistics category, you're looking at 4.9 pounds, so under 5-pound rifle, which is pretty cool. You have an adjustable stock, which does come with an adjustable cheek height as well. You can rise or lower, which is at its lowest point right now, where you want your cheek to sit for those iron sights. Now, I say iron sights, they are polymer, but they are also adjustable, but we'll get to that in a second. In the box, you do get two 10-round magazines, which is actually a nice thought because they are proprietary magazines that Rock Island has made. All right, enough with the tech specs. Let's dive into what it is you're actually looking at here. So up front, of course, I said before, you have an 18-inch barrel. And at the end of that barrel, there is a thread protector because it is threaded. So if you wanted to run this suppressed, you absolutely can do that. That's awesome. Nice and quiet. You get actually a pretty good little M16 style setup for the price, especially coming in under $200 or right around that $200 point. Now, your front sight, you can move it forward and back on the actual barrel if you want. Keeping with the style though, right here, it is polymer and it is a pretty large tower. You're talking a couple of inches on the rise there. So when you do get on it, it is more natural. You don't have to crane your neck as much to get down to those sights. On the bottom of the gun, you do have a sling point here. It does not rotate, which is kind of nice. So that way, at least it'll be nice and sturdy and stiff. You can rely on it. You do have a polymer handguard here, which is a very good size and does give you that M16 aesthetic, of course. Now, that Picatinny rail, I'm gonna go ahead and take this off of here. And we're gonna skip because I don't think you could show this on YouTube, even though it's an accessory technically. So see you in a second. And bam, so you have the carrying handle here, which does have that rear sight in it, so now you have a front post without a rear sight, but you can put an optic up here if you really want to, full Picatinny rail, where that actual grab handle was. So I did want to show you that. The receiver portion here is polymer as well, just like the Picatinny rail up top, but the mag release itself is going to be actually very nicely gripped right here, with the mag well being just slightly flared for the very small magazines. Now, you can, in fact, purchase 15 and 25 round versions of this magazine, but with the 10 rounders, you get 2 of them in the box. It also keeps it state compliant, at least in that fashion. So that mag well does look just like that here. It is slightly flared for the smaller magazines, but the magazines are so small, they are hard to miss anyway. So that is always nice to have there. Now, on your left side is a very large safety. So again, as I mentioned before, if you're not familiar with the AR platform and are looking to get into it, this might be actually a good start because it gives you an idea of where the safety is. Now, it is not your traditional AR safety, so do keep that in mind, but it actuates very nicely and is very large and extended. So that's actually quite a nice feature. Your grip itself is going to be rubber. So the entire grip is rubber, and you do have a finger groove here that will give you a very good purchase. So when you are holding this out, it does feel very comfortable, especially even if your hands start to get sweaty, because there is a moderately aggressively textured grip on the back, sides, and on the front portion of that grip. Moving on, that trigger. So I take the magazine out, show you clear. We clear these guns before we ever start filming when we're in the video room. But you have a flat-faced trigger here. Now, their claim is that this is a 2-pound trigger. We will test that in just a second, but let's go ahead and feel it. Yes, this is 22. Yes, I'm pulling the trigger. It's okay in this particular one, but moving on. In 3, 2, a little bit of take up. There you go, bang. Actually, quite a nice feeling on that trigger there. And then you reset, a little bit of movement, and it kicks you right back out pretty much to where you began, and then Bang, one more time. Very nice overall. It's smooth. Now, one thing I also did notice is that when the safety is on, you cannot charge the rifle completely. So I'll put the mag in because it has a bolt lock back on it so you can see. So I cannot pull it all the way back, but when I turn the safety off, it now locks back. So that's just a nice feature, especially for beginners or if you're looking to train with it. When you take the mag out, it does automatically drop the bolt because there is no bolt release on it. So if you pull out the mag, that is the bolt release. Now on to the final portion of the actual rifle itself. Like I mentioned before, it is an adjustable stock with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-way adjustable stock, it seems. So you can really get a good purchase on that, and if you have longer arms, you can extend it all the way out, but like myself, I don't have the longest arms. I usually keep it pretty close on the way in, so that way I get a little bit of purchase on that. You do have that cheek riser, which does go up and down about 1.5 inches, and then of course a nice big butt pad on the back there. Again, especially for newer shooters or someone getting into learning how to use an AR, that's going to be very nice. But all in all, you do not have to be a newer shooter for this gun. This thing is just cool, and if you're looking for a plinker, this is awesome. So now, let's do our measurements. I want to know how much it actually weighs, and if that trigger pull is actually 2 pounds, because it felt more like a 2.5 pound to me. We're going to find out if I'm wrong. Is that a QD sling spot? It is. There's a QD sling spot in the back of the stock there. That's nice. Okay, I'll be right back. All right, and we have our handy trigger pull. So let's go ahead and give that an example. So now, in 3, 2. All right, I'm gonna show you this reading because that's crazy. That's a super light trigger. Apparently my finger is way off. Maybe if I put a magazine in it, and then drop back up, will it feel differently? .92, so that's under a 2-pound trigger. It did feel pretty light. That's awesome. I mean, heck, I would not have guessed under a pound. But it is very smooth, and it does feel very good. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Very fun plinker there. Okay, now let's go ahead and move on to the weight portion. I want to see exactly how much this thing weighs. All right, now we have our handy dandy scale. So first things first, without the grip, without the mag, how much does this weigh? That is 4.71 pounds, which is really, really close to what they had said. Their claim was 4.9 pounds, but I bet you we can get there. Let's see. 4.88. Okay, so the 4.9 pound claim is with, of course, that grip, which makes sense because that's how you're going to use it. With your extra mag unloaded, of course, you are going to be looking at that 4.97 pounds. So that really makes a ton of sense. And you could probably push it just over 5 with, yeah, 507 with both mags. So even if you're carrying this other mag on the gun somehow, you're still looking, it's under 5 pounds. That's awesome. That's actually really light. So that will definitely make for a fun plinker. Now, for the final thing, let's measure it and see exactly how long it is with the stock closed, stock open, tight, all that good stuff. Be right back. Okay, we have our measuring tape. Let's go ahead and see exactly how short it is at its collapsed height. At collapsed height is 33 inches exactly. So I'm going to show you guys this right here, so you can see it there as well. 33 inches from butt to tip, tip to butt, however you want to say it, which is actually pretty short because on their website they had said 36.5, and I just verified that to make sure I had that number 100%. My guess, that was the average between it closed and not closed. So now let's see how long it is with it. Yeah, 36.5 is accurate, and that is going to be your fully extended actually. So you do gain a couple of inches there. But yeah, all in all, that is super cool. Now let's see exactly how tall it is. So you are looking at just about 7 inches without your grip portion, and then your grip portion is going to add on about almost 2 inches at the tallest portion there. So you're looking at, with the actual grip on it, a total of 9 inches. I mean, that is literally says 9 inches. So on their website, it said 7.68 inches on their website, they claim. So that is closer. I mean, it's like 7 inches on the money without the actual grip portion on there, so I'm not exactly sure where they're getting that number from. But 7 inches with no grip, 9 inches with the grip. Nice and easy. And then your width. So your average width of the receiver is just over 1 inch, 1.25. And then you're looking at 2 inches to 2.5 inches wide at the actual widest portion, which is the handguard here. So yeah, there you go. There's your facts. Moving on. All in all, Rock Island Armory is giving you a solid 22 as far as features go here. You get 2 magazines in the box. You get a very fully featured AR style 22 rifle for right around that $200 mark, if not less than that, which is awesome. So a great plinker, a lot of fun to have, great for new shooters, great for anybody who's looking to shoot 22 LR, in my opinion. With that being said, that's all I have for you guys, so please feel free to leave a review down below. We would love to see your comments. I'll be down there trying to answer any of the questions that you do have, especially if it's about anything maybe I missed as well. Let me know. I'm genuinely curious. I always try to improve the video, so I would love some feedback too. So without further ado, I hope you guys all stay safe. God bless. It is time to end. Now, I'm gonna go shoot this thing.